Check this out. Wow.
Angel Reese just had one of the most embarrassing games of her career. And honestly, it was painful to watch. She wasn't just bad, she was a walking disaster.
She has her worst professional pro game.
Sloppy turnovers, laughable mistakes, and a play style so reckless, it looked like she was trying out for the WWE instead of the WNBA. She came in talking big, acting like she was about to dominate. But guess what? Reality hit hard. Napheesa Collier wasn't having any of it. She stayed focused, let her game do the talking, and made sure Angel Reese got a front row seat to her own humiliation. And the best part? Collier got the last laugh with an ice-cold, game-winning shot, leaving Reese looking shocked, confused, and completely exposed. All that trash talk? For nothing? All those cheap shots? Wasted? This game wasn't just a loss for Angel Reese, it was an absolute disaster. And trust me, we're about to break down every single brutal moment that proves she's not as untouchable as she thinks. Stay tuned, because this is one breakdown you don't want to miss. But before we jump into the good stuff, take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. By joining our crew, you'll always be in the loop with the latest WNBA updates, expert takes, and breakdowns of big moves just like this. Don't miss out, we've got every angle covered. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive right in. Imagine you're a basketball star stepping onto the court, confident and ready to dominate. The lights are bright, the crowd is cheering, and your team is counting on you. It's supposed to be your moment. The game is set, the stakes are high, and fans are expecting to see a performance worth remembering. But instead of showcasing your skills, you accidentally become the star of your own blooper reel. That's exactly what happened to Angel Reese in a recent unforgettable game.
Another one. Angel Reese with what looks like a very dirty move under the basket. Check this out. I mean, wow.
Angel Reese didn't just have a bad game, she had a game that people will remember for all the wrong reasons. From turnovers to missed shots, from trash talk that backfired to an embarrassing finish, this was one of those performances that fans and critics won't stop talking about for a long time. In fact, if there were a Hall of Fame for self-inflicted sports disasters, this game might just have a dedicated wing for Angel Reese.
Angel Reese was on Napheesa Collier, giving her a bunch of frustrating bumps. And at the end of the game, the Lunar Owls does come away with the dub.
Now let's break it down. Reese walked onto the court with all the swagger you'd expect from a star player. She strutted in like she owned the place, chest out, full of confidence, and ready to put on a show. She was talking trash before the first whistle even blew, making faces, taunting opponents, and acting like she was about to have a career-defining performance. The energy was there, but the execution? Well, that was missing entirely.
I mean, Angel Reese is out there looking like a UFC fighter.
It didn't take long for things to start going downhill. Right from the tip-off, you could tell Reese was more focused on putting on a spectacle than actually playing winning basketball. Instead of sticking to the fundamentals, she was too busy playing to the cameras, throwing up wild shots, making risky moves, and barking at the opposing team. But confidence without substance is just arrogance, and Reese quickly found herself spiraling out of control. Her bravado soon turned into visible frustration, and that frustration led to recklessness. One moment, she was trying to show off her flashy footwork. The next, she was fumbling the ball like she was allergic to it. You could see it on her face she knew things weren't going her way. But instead of adjusting, she doubled down on the nonsense. If there was ever a night to play smart, disciplined basketball, this was it. Instead, she turned the game into a personal highlight reel of what not to do on the court.
It looked very intentional, everything that is happening with the Unrivaled League, because all of this stuff transpired, like I stated, just 4 to 5 hours after it was announced that Sabrina Ionescu was quitting the league.
And boy, did it backfire spectacularly. With every mistake, she got sloppier, trying to force plays instead of letting the game come to her. Instead of proving she was the dominant force she claimed to be, she turned herself into the main attraction for all the wrong reasons. By the time halftime rolled around, the only ones entertained were the fans watching her downfall in real time. Let's talk about the numbers because they don't lie. Reese had 7 turnovers, yes, 7. And we're not talking about minor slip-ups. These were full-on, did she really just do that? Moments that made fans cringe and laugh at the same time. One of the worst moments came when she threw the basketball straight at the backboard and then, brace yourself, rebounded her own pass.
This one, Angel Reese rebounded her own pass. Guys, I'm dead. I saw this and was like, this can't be real.
Yes, you read that right. She passed to herself. Fans watching at home were in disbelief. It was the kind of mistake that you'd expect from a middle school player, not a professional athlete. It was like she had a sudden identity crisis and thought she was playing handball instead of basketball. Then, as if trying to outdo herself, she followed it up with another masterpiece of disaster, a completely unnecessary no-look pass. The problem? There was no one there to catch it. The ball sailed out of bounds like it had somewhere better to be. Even her own teammates seemed confused about what she was trying to do. Maybe she was auditioning for a comedy skit instead of leading her team to victory. It's like she thought she was in a Harlem Globetrotters show, but forgot the part where you're supposed to be good at tricks.
The Lunar Owls rushed the Rose BC, and Angel, well, she did some rather interesting things on the court.
And it wasn't just those two moments. Reese made sure to add variety to her turnover showcase. Dribbling straight into defenders? Check. Getting stripped because she wasn't paying attention? Check. Passing to a teammate who wasn't even looking? Double check. At one point, it felt like she was playing for both teams, gifting the opponents easy possessions like it was Christmas morning. It was almost as if she had an internal competition going on. How many different ways can I give the ball away? Well, mission accomplished. 7 turnovers in a single game is bad enough, but the way she did it, legendary, for all the wrong reasons. But turnovers weren't the only issue that night. Reese wasn't just giving the ball away, she was also playing a brand of basketball that was more about brute force than actual skill. And that led us to another chapter in her night of horrors.
Angel was 8 for 16 for 17 points, 10 boards last night. 7 damn turnovers. 7. All right?
She was pushing, shoving, and trying to intimidate everyone around her, especially her opponent, Napheesa Collier. But Collier wasn't falling for it. While Reese was busy playing the tough girl act, Collier was calmly locking in, focused on winning the game, and that's exactly what she did. It was like watching a chess master go up against someone who thought flipping the board was a legitimate strategy. Spoiler alert, it's not. Reese was out there throwing elbows, body-checking opponents, and making every play personal, as if basketball had suddenly turned into a boxing match. But instead of rattling Collier, it only made her more determined. Reese was trying to bully her way through the game, but Collier was built for this, calm, composed, and completely unfazed by the chaos. Meanwhile, Reese was unraveling. She wasn't just turning the ball over, she was also taking some of the worst shots imaginable. And when I say bad, I mean high school gym teacher showing off and airballing bad. She kept throwing up wild attempts, hoping anything would go in. But instead of scoring, she kept bricking shots, missing layups, and giving her opponents extra chances to take control of the game. It was like watching someone play basketball with their eyes closed and hoping for a miracle.
Sure. Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player.
And then there was the infamous layup attempt. At one point, she had a wide open layup, no defenders, no pressure, just an easy shot. But instead of making it, she somehow managed to botch it so badly that fans in the stands collectively groaned. The ball bounced off the backboard like it owed her money. One viral video even showed her trying to score, missing, and then immediately blaming the refs with the caption, "Angel Reese, the only player who thinks the hoop is against her." It didn't stop at the memes. Comment sections were flooded with fans clowning her performance. "Bro, I've seen 8-year-olds make better decisions with the basketball," one user wrote. Another chimed in with, "She's out here inventing new ways to turn the ball over. Revolutionary." The internet showed no mercy, and as the memes piled up, so did the damage to her reputation. And the worst part? This isn't just a one-night thing. When you play poorly and make excuses, the internet remembers. If you thought this was the last time Reese was going to be the punchline of a joke, think again. Because just when you think the storm has passed, someone digs up the clips and starts the cycle all over again. For an athlete with a strong personality and a big social media presence, this kind of public humiliation had to sting. But the real question is, did she learn anything from it? Or is she about to make the same mistakes all over again? Let's talk about what needs to change if she wants to avoid being the league's permanent laughingstock. How does she pick up the pieces after what was arguably the worst performance of her career? A bad game is one thing. Every athlete has off nights. Even the greats have had moments they'd rather erase from history. But this wasn't just a bad game. It was an exposure of epic proportions. This game didn't just highlight a few flaws. It put a massive spotlight on her weaknesses, zoomed in, and broadcasted them for the whole world to see. From her lack of discipline to her inability to handle pressure, Reese showed that for all the talk, she had very little walk. If she doesn't make changes, this won't be the last time she finds herself in this situation. Because let's be real, when you play like this and still act like you're on top of the world, people are going to come for you. The internet never forgets, and neither do basketball fans. If she keeps up this same reckless, trash-talking, excuse-making approach, she might just find herself going viral for all the wrong reasons again. So does she have what it takes to bounce back? Or will she double down on the bad habits that got her roasted in the first place? Up next, we break down the crucial lessons she needs to learn if she wants to salvage her reputation and avoid becoming the league's biggest meme. So what can Reese take away from this disaster? Let's break it down. Lesson 1. Stay humble. Reese's constant trash talk put a massive target on her back. Trash talk is fine when you can back it up, but if you're playing poorly, it just makes you look foolish. Lesson 2. Keep your cool. Aggression is a great tool if it's controlled, but Reese lost all composure in this game, letting her emotions take over, which only made things worse. Lesson 3. Take accountability. Blaming everyone else won't help. The best athletes take responsibility for their mistakes, learn from them, and come back stronger. If Reese wants to improve, she needs to start with herself. Lesson 4. Preparation over bravado. Reese came into this game expecting to dominate, but confidence isn't enough. You have to prepare. She underestimated her opponent, and it cost her. Despite all the embarrassment, Reese still has a chance to turn things around. Sports history is full of comeback stories, athletes who hit rock bottom but worked their way back up. If Reese wants to be one of them, she has to change her approach. Less talk, more focus. Less attitude, more discipline. Only time will tell if she's willing to do it. Wow, what a game. Angel Reese went in with all the confidence in the world, but Napheesa Collier made sure she left with a reality check. This wasn't just a loss, it was a lesson. And if Reese doesn't learn from it, she's going to keep finding herself in moments like this. But what do you think? Was this just a bad night, or is Reese's style of play catching up with her? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We've got more WNBA drama, highlights, and expert takes coming your way, so stay tuned. All right, that's it for this one. I'll catch you in the next video.